Hi YouTube, how you doing? Miss Sigma Kinney here. So, yesterday I did a video about how much of a nerd I am. And if you watch my channels, you know I am a nerd. So, today I think I'm going to talk about what it's like to be a female nerd in the Nerdin. First off, you gotta deal with the stereotypes that you can't be hot and be a nerd. You can't. And if you're hot and you're a nerd, it means you're a poser. You got a lot of self-confidence issues to deal with. Then you have people asking, oh, do you have an older brother? Is he a nerd? And if you answer, yeah, my brother's a nerd, it's like, oh, that's why you're a nerd, because of your brother. I'm like, so, I will admit, I do have an older brother and I have a dad. My dad is what he likes to call as an undercover nerd, as in you wouldn't know he's a nerd until he sits down and talks to you about one of his fandoms. So I did grow up around comic books, and I started reading comic books, and my dad did read to me and my brother both fantasy and science fiction novels as our bedtime stories instead of, Little Red Riding Hood and all that. So there's that. Going to the cons as a female is always a scary thing, and it's always something you should not do alone. My first con was SAC Anime when it was in the Sunrise Mall, and then it was free, but a lot of things was a lot more expensive then. But the con itself was free, and you got to meet other fans. And it was a great way to meet people and get out there. So, how do I tell you what it's like being a female nerd? It's kind of hard. Yeah, you get the stereotypes of female nerds should be exactly like male nerds, and male nerds should not be good looking. And so female nerds should not be good looking. And you know what? There are some pretty good looking male nerds out there. They're not all fat, they're not all ugly, they'll not all have pimples everywhere. And there are some amazingly sexy female nerds out there. And then you get the stereotypes of being a nerd is now popular, so everyone can just claim to be a nerd for attention. Recently, that came about a couple years ago. And I disagree with that. Yeah, you do have people in the fandom for attention. But even if they're in the fandom for attention, they might really enjoy the fandom. It may not just be for the attention. I don't think anyone would do anything just for attention. That's just my opinion. But I do tell every fan person I meet, I always ask, how long have you been a fan? And if they say they're all their lives, then I'm like, yes, I'm here. I love comic books, I love anime, I love video games. They ask, why do I love video games? And I will always tell people, one of my first memories is playing Sonic the Hedgehog with my older brother. And I enjoyed the storyline, I enjoyed how much fun we had playing for hours, back and forth. He died, my turn, I die, his turn, back and forth for hours. And we continued to do that with games as we got older. When I was 21, maybe even 22, and he's a year older than me. So we would still do that. Even when he met his wife, we would still do that. Back and forth for hours. And she joined in, like, I died, here, passed, he died, here, passed to her, she dies, passed back to me, and it went on. And that's how we would play games. Sometimes it would, be us playing 2 players. Sometimes it would be us not playing 2 players. Hold up. And that's how I got on video games. How did I get on anime? Besides, Sailor Moon and all that back in the 90s. Right before Sailor Moon came out in America, I believe. My dad took me and my brother to, I think it was Blockbuster, and he's like, go at movies. And I was walking around looking, and it takes me forever to decide something. And then I saw this one, cartoon. I rented it. Loved it. It wasn't appropriate for kids at all. It was kind of a hentai, but not really a hentai, and so my dad took it back, hey, how is this a cartoon for kids? And the guy said, it's an anime. It's a Japanese animation, not meant for kids. Some of them are, though, but this one's not. And I'm sitting there like, My eyes are wide open. My brother's sitting next to me like, go do it again. Like, what? Pick another one out like that. I'll try. So when we went over, my dad since then would start reading the back. So we would talk our mom into taking us, and she didn't know any of this. So when mom took us, we would sneak anime that was not meant for kids. And I would say I tell people I was about maybe 6 or 5. But apparently Sailor Moon came out in America when I was about 5 or 6. So it was probably, I was 4. So yeah, this was the things me and my brother would get away with. So that's how I came into the anime fandom, and I loved it. And I got hate for it throughout my life. Oh, anime's for kids. When I went into high school, people would say that, oh, it's not right that they have, and this was from my own family members, that they have demons being good and that angels can be evil. And I'm like, well, no one's that anything with a demon that could be a good person is not a something I should be watching. And this was from my aunt. I'm trying not to make this video too long, but so yeah, going to the cons as a woman, you get molested. You always get molested. It has always been there, from the Sunrise Mall to the Scottish Rite Center to the Red Lion Inn to the Radisson to Ewing. But now you hear it in more abundance that the females are getting molested more and more each year. And I'm like, well, if you remember why they kicked us out of the Radisson, someone tries to hotel room that had nothing to do with us. And also, a 12-year-old girl decided to stay overnight in a hotel room with some 40-year-old man and got molested. Even though she wasn't raped or really molested, she wanted it. It still happened. Cops found out, and that's why they kicked us out of the Red Lion. before we got transferred to the Radisson. So that has always been around in the anime fandom. And you notice more and more that the anime fandom is becoming not just about anime, it's about video games, it's about comic books. I mean, all the fandoms are coming together, and that's a good thing. And I agree with this. But you do have to deal with more and more people. And you have to deal with more and more people doing it to do bad things, like molest the women or try and get people's attention because, yeah, well, sometimes they'll dress as a slutty character and will wear a slutty outfit to go with the character for their cosplay, so they think they can get away with it. You can't get away with it. It's not nice. It's not appropriate. Don't do it. So as a female in the nerd fandom, we are very ostracized. We are very preyed upon, and and it's kind of why we don't have self-confidence, because our fellow nerds in the fandom, at least the male persons, part of the fandom, treat us like things, objects, and say we can't really truly be, some of them anyways, just say we can't really truly be nerds because we're women. Not every guy in the fandom agree with this, but a lot of them do. So yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're a nerd and you're female, enjoy it. Don't let other people tell you how to live your life. And if you're male and you're a nerd, don't treat us females like we're just things or objects. Now, yesterday I showed you my Harley Quinn stuff. Today I'm showing you my purse. Black Widow, 3D, so it changes. Suicide Squad pin, Alice in Wonderland pin, Harley Quinn, Miku. Oh, you can't see this. Five Nights at Freddy's. Jack and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas, Jubilee, and Harley Quinn and the Joker. I have so many more pins, and I found this one, and since I'm fully a cap it, it's San Diego FurCon. Well, I guess that's it. I have more pins. I have fedoras, and some of my pins on them. One of my fedoras is missing. The other one's at the boyfriend, who decided to take it and keep it. Every time I get a boyfriend, they take one of my fedoras. I have a couple more Harley Quinn pins. I have the You Lost the Game pin. I have more pins. I just can't think of what all I have right now. Oh well. You all know who I am, and thank you all for listening.